I've taken it upon myself to rename the Los Angeles Palisade wildfires the DEI fires. Yeah, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and all of the incompetence that comes with this woke way of running organizations can be blamed for allowing these fires to get so out of control to the point they are being described as the worst fires to ever hit Los Angeles. So, we've all been seeing the horrible footage, but how the hell has this been allowed to happen? Let's start with these three. The leadership of the Los Angeles Fire Department. This is the fire chief, the assistant chief, and the training commander. You may notice they are all women, and that would be fine if they were in their positions due to true talent and competence. But somehow, I think they're not. I think, in fact, I know they're only there because California is a state infected with the woke mind virus and last year put together a program specifically aimed at overlooking white male firefighters for positions in the department in favor of women, LGBTQIA+ people, and people of color.
I am super inspired.
She took time out of her already busy schedule to tell us about her vision for the department's future, one that includes a 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity.
People ask me, well, what number are you looking for? I say, I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough.
Out of 3,300 city firefighters, only 115 are women right now. She's already looking at ways to change that. She's quick to point out that doing so has a greater purpose, attracting the best and brightest for the job.
They feel included, they feel valued, and they feel part of a cohesive team.
The chief also checks another box when it comes to inclusivity and diversity at this department. She's a proud member of the LGBTQ community.
That just kind of opens the door of people that thought, wow, I didn't even know that that was an opportunity for me.
Completely unbelievable. Did anyone stop to think that maybe men just so happen to be the best people for the job? Or maybe no one else wants to do it. As usual, white men end up doing the dirty and hard work that everyone else rejects. Just like women are in leadership positions in teaching and nursing, men are usually in positions of power in physically laborious jobs like, say, the police force and firefighters. It's logical. It's biology. This man applied to be a firefighter in LA but was knocked back. Because why? Because he was white.
Geez, I want to talk about my white privilege so badly. I graduated North Hollywood High with a 1.7 GPA. I could not find a job. I walked to a fire station in North Hollywood. I was 19. I was living in the garage of my family home. My mom was on welfare and food stamps, and I said, can I get a job as a fireman? And they said, no, because you're not black, Hispanic, or a woman. We'll see you in about 7 years. And I went to a construction site and dug ditches and picked up garbage for the next 7 years. I got a letter in the mail sent to my father's house saying, your time has come to do the written exam for the LA Fire Department. I took it, and I was standing in line, and I had a young woman of color standing behind me in line, and I said, just out of curiosity, when did you sign up to become a fireman? Because I did it, or a person, 7 years ago, and she said, Wednesday. That is an example of my white privilege.
Some would call that racism. Oh, but hang on, you can't be racist against white people, right? Well, as they say, the chickens have come home to roost and the good people of the Palisades have lost everything because of this. They've lost everything because the LA Fire Department has prioritized giving gays and lesbians jobs that they are unfit for over saving lives and livelihoods. And as well as putting incompetent people in difficult jobs, the mayor of Los Angeles cut the fire department's budget by $17.5 million. Another stupid move, seeing as Los Angeles has wildfires pretty much every year because of the dry conditions mixed with the Santa Ana winds, which this year are particularly bad. These fires aren't a surprise. Why would they cut the budget of the natural disaster category that impacts LA the most every single year? Oh, and that mayor was also in Africa as the city burnt to the ground. And then when she finally got back to Los Angeles, she refused to answer questions. Look at her. She's standing there like a stunned mullet. Where is the leadership in a crisis?
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster? No apology for them?
Gavin Newsom, the gift that keeps on giving, has also played a major part in all of this after he failed to build water storage facilities and reservoirs where people of Los Angeles voted for overwhelmingly to spend their taxpayer money in 2014. Yes, the people of Los Angeles wanted this because they know the property and the land on which they live in. There are fire hydrants littered along the streets for this very purpose, but there's no water in them. What a joke. And this isn't an inland community. This is literally on the coast. There are so many options to help this situation. Take the seawater or the rainwater or the snow runoff from all of the surrounding areas. But no, they take no action for decades and decades, and this is the result. If it wasn't for the multi-million-dollar houses, you'd think this was a third world country. And look at Trump, he absolutely demolished Newsom.
Very sad, because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way, called a smelt. And for the sake of a smelt, they have no water. They had no water in the fire hydrants today in Los Angeles. It was a terrible thing. And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal side, and he didn't want to sign it, but it's not going to happen again like that. There's no reason. Can you imagine? You have farmers that don't have any water in California. They have plenty of water. They don't have a drought. They send it out to the Pacific, and it's crazy.
And what about the bush management? Here in Australia, our fire services backburn every year to burn off the fuel that could create huge infernos during bushfire season. We know how to do this because we've lived with it since the dawn of time, and so has Los Angeles. We have very similar environments. These controlled burns haven't been done in 30 years in LA, according to news sources. Where is the management? Where's the foresight? This was a disaster waiting to happen, and the people of LA have to pay for it. Oh, and the last and most infuriating point, LA firefighters decided to be charitable in 2022 and donate all of their surplus equipment to, you guessed it, the Ukraine war effort. Firstly, Ukraine received anywhere between $60 and $170 billion in aid from Sleepy Joe Biden, so I don't think they're short on a dollar. And secondly, there's no such thing as surplus equipment in an area where a fire rages almost every single year. As we're seeing now, the LA Fire Department would kill for that surplus equipment right now. The management in every department on every level in LA and California, from Newsom to the mayor to the chief of the fire department, are to blame for these out-of-control fires that have cost lives and livelihoods. 2025 needs to be the year that woke goes to die so we can save lives, because it's literally a matter of life and death at this point.